He called me unstable in front of a courtroom full of strangers, and for a moment it almost sounded believable. His voice echoed off the wooden walls, sharp and violent, like he was trying to carve that identity into me permanently. My own father stood there, red-faced and shaking, pointing at me like I was something broken that needed to be fixed or locked away. But the truth was, he had no idea who he was talking about, and that ignorance was about to destroy him. I sat quietly with my hands resting in my lap. My posture relaxed, my breathing steady, as if none of it touched me. Inside, though, I was counting every second, watching the moment unfold exactly the way I had planned it. The courtroom smelled faintly of polish and old paper, and sunlight streamed in through tall windows, catching dust particles that floated lazily in the air. It felt surreal, almost like I was watching someone else's life play out in slow motion. But this was my reality, and I had been preparing for this day for a long time. Judge Sullivan leaned forward slightly, her eyes narrowing as she studied, my father with a calm intensity that made even the air feel heavier. She didn't interrupt him while he ranted, while he tried to paint me as a lost, unstable woman who couldn't function without his control. Instead, she let him talk, let him dig deeper into his own lies. Then, when the silence finally fell, she asked one simple question that shifted everything. She asked if he even knew who I really was. That question lingered in the air like a storm about to break, and I could see the first crack in his confidence. At the table beside him, his lawyer froze, staring down at a document that had just been handed over. His fingers tightened around the pages, and the color drained from his face so quickly it was almost frightening. I didn't look at either of them. I kept my gaze steady, my expression neutral, because this was the moment I had been building toward, and I wasn't going to ruin it by reacting too soon. As the silence stretched, my mind drifted back to a night that had changed everything for me, even if no one else realized it at the time. It was Christmas Eve just 4 months earlier, and we were all gathered around my father's long dining table, pretending to be a family. The house was warm, filled with the smell of roasted meat and expensive candles, but the atmosphere had always felt cold to me. I handed him my business card that night, a simple piece of paper that represented years of work and sacrifice, and he barely glanced at it before tossing it aside like it was worthless. He laughed when he read the title printed beneath my name, mocking it like it was a joke meant for his entertainment. He asked if that was what people were calling unemployment these days, his voice dripping with sarcasm as he swirled a glass of expensive liquor in his hand. To him, I was playing pretend, wasting my life on something that didn't matter. He never asked questions, never tried to understand. He just decided I was a failure and treated me like one. What he didn't know was that my so-called pretend job had already secured a multi-million-dollar federal contract that same week. While he was sitting there judging me, I had already built something real, something powerful, something he couldn't even begin to comprehend. I wasn't a drifter. I wasn't lost. I was the founder of a firm that specialized in uncovering financial deception, in tracing money that people worked very hard to hide. And eventually that path led me right back to him. Back in the courtroom, his voice rose again as he continued his performance, accusing me of being silent because I was incapable of defending myself. He claimed I was medicated, unstable, disconnected from reality. I didn't respond, not because I couldn't, but because I understood something he didn't. Silence, in that moment, was far more powerful than any argument I could have made. Every word he spoke made him look more irrational, more desperate, more dangerous. He started attacking my lifestyle next, describing my home as some rundown place I was too ashamed to show anyone. I almost smiled at that, but I kept my composure. He thought I was hiding in a tiny apartment, living some kind of sad, isolated life. What he didn't know was that I owned the entire building he was talking about. Not just a unit, not just a floor, but the entire property, including the office space his firm operated out of. I had purchased it quietly months earlier, restructuring it, renovating it, turning it into something valuable again. He signed lease agreements and payment confirmations without ever realizing my name was behind them. To him, Vanguard was just another corporate entity, another faceless investor. He never questioned it, never looked deeper, because he believed he was too important to be deceived. But I knew exactly how to approach him, exactly how to position everything, so he would walk straight into it. It started 2 years ago when his firm was collapsing under its own weight. His finances were a mess, his debts were piling up, and instead of facing it, he chose to target me. He tried to have me declared mentally unfit, filing false claims, using connections to push a narrative that I was unstable and needed to be controlled. I remember the day officers showed up at my door with the order. It should have been terrifying, but it wasn't. I was calm, prepared, already aware of what he was trying to do. It didn't take long for them to realize the claims were false. They left within minutes, apologetic, almost embarrassed by the situation. I could have ended it there, taken legal action immediately, but I didn't. That would have been too easy, too quick. Instead, I decided to build something bigger. I created a company designed to solve the exact problem he was facing, and then I positioned it directly in his path. Through that company, I acquired his debts, took control of his financial obligations, and then stepped in as the investor who would save him. He didn't question where the money came from. He didn't care. He just accepted it, convinced that it was proof of his own brilliance. And then he wasted it. Instead of stabilizing his business, he spent it on appearances, on things that made him feel powerful. Expensive cars, flashy upgrades, meaningless displays of success. He sat at the head of the table during family gatherings, talking about his achievements, criticizing me, completely unaware that the foundation beneath him was no longer his. Back in the courtroom, his confidence started to crack as his lawyer finally tried to intervene. I watched his panic spread across that man's face, as he realized the situation was far more complicated than he had been led to believe. He whispered urgently, trying to get my father to stop, but my father refused. He was too focused on winning, too convinced he was right. That was when the judge stepped in, her tone shifting from neutral to something far more serious. She began laying out the facts, one by one, each document revealing a piece of the truth he had ignored. Ownership records, financial statements, contracts. Every detail was there, clear and undeniable. The building he mocked, the company he trusted, the money he relied on, all of it traced back to me. I watched his expression change as the realization slowly set in. At first there was confusion, then disbelief, and finally something much deeper, something closer to fear. He tried to deny it, tried to laugh it off, but the evidence was right in front of him, impossible to ignore. His lawyer stopped speaking entirely, his silence confirming what the documents already proved. When the judge revealed that I wasn't just his daughter in that courtroom, but also the primary investor, keeping his firm alive, the room went completely still. It wasn't dramatic in the way people expect. There was no shouting, no sudden outburst, just a heavy, suffocating silence as the truth settled over everyone present. He looked at me then, really looked at me for the first time in years, and I could see the shift in his eyes. The arrogance was gone, replaced by something uncertain, something fragile. He tried to argue, tried to find a way out, but every path he reached for collapsed under the weight of reality. In that moment, I didn't feel anger or satisfaction the way I thought I would. What I felt was clarity. I finally understood that he had never seen me, not truly. He had spent years defining me based on his own assumptions, his own need to feel superior. And now, standing there with everything exposed, he had no idea how to process the truth. The case didn't end with some dramatic declaration. It ended quietly, with decisions made based on facts rather than emotion. His request for control over my life was denied completely, and the attempt itself raised serious questions about his own conduct. Consequences followed, not because I forced them, but because he created them. As I walked out of that courtroom, the sunlight felt different, warmer somehow, like I was stepping into a new chapter that no longer involved proving anything to him. I didn't look back, not even once. There was nothing left to see, nothing left to hold on to. For the first time in a long time, I wasn't the person he said I was, and I didn't need to fight to prove it. I had already built something stronger than his opinions, something real, something undeniable. And the best part was, I had done it quietly, without needing his approval, without needing anyone to believe in me first. He tried to take my freedom because he thought I was weak, but in the end, the only thing he managed to expose was how little he truly understood, the person sitting right in front of him all along.